Hi, Evelina. I'm going to read you The Gruffalo's Child. There we go. I picked this book up from the library, so I borrowed it so I could read it to you. Are you ready, Sloth? Okay. So we have The Gruffalo's Child. Can you see the pictures? And if you have your book at home, you can follow along in your book too. The Gruffalo said that no Gruffalo should ever set foot in the deep, dark wood. Why not? Why not? Because if you do, the big bad mouse will be after you. I met him once, said the Gruffalo. I met him a long, long time ago. What does he look like? Tell us, Dad. Is he terribly big and terribly bad? I can't quite remember, the Gruffalo said. And then he thought for a minute, and he scratched his head. The big bad mouse is terribly strong, and his scaly tail is terribly long. His eyes are like pools of terrible fire, and his terrible whiskers are tougher than wire. One snowy night when the Gruffalo snored, and the Gruffalo child was feeling bored. The Gruffalo child was feeling brave, so she tiptoed out of the Gruffalo cave. The snow fell fast and the wind blew wild. Into the woods went the Gruffalo child. Why on earth would you leave your nice, warm, snuggly cave to go out into the woods in the cold? Beats me. Aha! Ooh! A trail in the snow. Whose is this trail and where does it go? A tail poked out of a log house pile. Could this be the tail of the big bad mouse? Oh, there's a tail there. Doesn't look scaly, but it's got spots. Out slid the creature. His eyes were small. And he didn't have whiskers, no, not at all. You're not the mouse. Not I, said the snake. He's down by the lake, eating Gruffalo cake. The snow fell fast and the wind blew wild. I'm not scared, said the Gruffalo child. Do you think the Gruffalo child is getting scared? I do. Maybe just a little bit. Aha! Oh-ho! Marks in the snow. Whose are these claw marks and where do they go? Two eyes gleamed out of a treetop house. Could these be the eyes of the big bad mouse? Look, there are the eyes way up there. Down flew the creature, his tail was short, and he didn't have whiskers of any sort. You're not the mouse. Too, not I. But he's somewhere nearby, eating Gruffalo pie. The snow fell fast and the wind blew wild. I'm not scared, said the Gruffalo child. Aha! Ooh-hoo! A track in the snow. Whose is this track and where does it go? Whiskers, whiskers at last, and an underground house. Could this be the home of the big bad mouse? Uh-oh. Is that the mouse? Out slunk the creature. His eyes weren't fiery. His tail wasn't scaly. And his whiskers, well, they weren't wiry. You're not the mouse. Oh, no, not me. He's under the tree, drinking Gruffalo tea. It's all a trick, said the Gruffalo child, as she sat on the stump where the snow lay piled. I don't believe in the big bad mouse. But here comes a little one, just a little one, outside of his house. Not big, not bad, but a mouse at least. You'll taste good for a midnight feast. Nom, 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 nom. Watch out, little mouse. Wait, said the mouse, before you eat. There's a friend of mine that you ought to meet. If you let me hop onto a hazel twig, I'll beckon my friend, so big and bad and big. The Gruffalo child unclenched her fist. The big bad mouse, so he does exist? The mouse hopped up onto the hazel tree. He beckoned, then said, just you wait and see. Out came the moon. It was bright and round. A terrible shadow fell onto the ground. Who is this creature so big and bad and strong? His tail and his whiskers are terribly long. His ears are enormous, and over his shoulder he carries a nut as big as a boulder. It's a big nut. Look, the Gruffalo child is scared. Whoop, of the big mouse. The big bad mouse, yelled the Gruffalo child. And the mouse jumped down from the twig, and he smiled. Aha! Woohoo! Prints in the snow. Whose are these footprints, and where do they go? The footprints led to the Gruffalo cave, where the Gruffalo child was a little less brave. The Gruffalo child was a little less bored. And the Gruffalo child snored and snored and snored. The end. I hope you enjoyed the Gruffalo's child.